All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jones, and I am a 15-year TCG veteran just out here in the community trying to help everybody get better. In tonight's stream, we'll be talking about results from League Cups over the weekend, as well as the new Mega Evolution set that has just dropped in the Pokemon trading card game, and what that can mean for the meta and how that's going to shift going forward. Again, my name is Jones, and I'm going to be keeping company with you here tonight as we talk about the new game, the new cards. We talk about how this is going to change the new decks and how we all, in the end of the day, try to get a little bit better than we were the day before. I do apologize for the late start. It's just like I don't know, like weather and Pokemon Live just being weird. It's just always kind of just it's just kind of like a weird, it's just always a weird tandem and mix. So it just never really, does me any favors in that regard. So there is that. So I guess what I'm going to go ahead and do first is I'm going to kind of work on some deck lists here right off the bat. There are some things that I want to work on, and before I start really playing games. Cool. Alright. So, kind of the thing I'm going to do here, just to get started, there are a couple of decks that I'm going to change up. And the thing to start thinking about too is like, the new thing to start thinking about is how, like what decks are going to benefit the most from lilies. So this right here, Lily's Determination. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards. If you have exactly 6 prize cards remaining, draw 8 cards instead. Phenomenal card. So the first card that comes to my mind, and the first deck that I think is probably going to benefit better from this than anything else, would be Grimmsnarl. So, and I've been playing a lot of Grimmsnarl lately. Yeah, I think Grimmsnarl probably benefits the most from this. And that's just a super quick, it's a super quick fix. I've already got a Terra Box with it in there. I took out the research and put in one Lily's Determination. Also put in a Judge instead of an Iono, and I've been playing around with this some. There's also this one that won in Japan, or did fairly well in Japan, that plays both Mega Mawile, gotta love that high res, and the Mega Kangaskhan. So it plays both of these. Haven't really tried that one out too much, but it does look vastly different as far as the energy breakdown instead of that. Now this is probably where this one probably gets the most interesting. So with Bolt, we're still gonna keep that. Well, we really don't. I think the thing with Bolt is first we gotta strip the owls. I know, shocker. Considering the last few months of how hard I've been on owlless Bolt lists. And this is why, here's the thing about it. Like, I wouldn't be hard on it if I didn't have a reason. Here's why. So we've got Lunatone, 110 phenomenal amount of HP. Lunar Cycle, once during your turn, if you have Soul Rock in play, you may discard a basic fighting from your hand in order to use this ability. Draw 3 cards. Can't use it more than once. Love that. And then you have Soul Rock, which Soul Rock is really cool because it has a shred effect, where it's not affected by any effects on the opponent's Pokemon. So 70 HP is going to get us a good knockout on a Fan Rotom. It's also going to get us a knockout on a Hoothoot. Gets us a knockout on Dreepy, Charmander, Pidgey, anything with 70 HP, and anything with that's 70 HP and as a fighting weakness is not safe. Now this jeez, I can't talk. Now what this does is it opens up a nice little 2-card spot here for us. Now there is definitely going to be more of an emphasis on... There's going to be more of an emphasis on... Why did I put it in 3 pressman? On Area 0, so we're going to probably have to bulk that up to 3. So now it just gets weird, and I sit here and think like, what are my 3, or what are my 2 cards, and what could I put in there? I think if anything, what I could do is possibly we could go second boss and get like really greedy. Go 2 boss and a counter catcher. And this is just fully resigning the fact that like we're going to probably lose to Gardevoir. Like, if we're just going to accept the fact that we're going to lose to Gardevoir, we're probably going to lose to Bulldango. So we're going to see what we got. That would be cute. Now, you know, I could very well put like Squawkabilly in there. But here's like the thing about it, like I've played Raging Bolt enough to realize like I don't need Squawkabilly, so I don't really need that. That could be a possibility. We could put a Tool Scrapper in there. Hidden's Point. You know what I'm gonna do? No, wait, I don't have it in there anymore. I was going to say Glass Trumpet, but I don't have vowels in there anymore. So, and, you know, and we could sit here and play this and probably find out that it's absolute hot garbage. I think maybe what I do is I just up the consistency, go to 4 balls. Let's see if, like, we just do the ancient Pokemon. Ancient trait. It says that I own Ancient 0. Team Plasma, ancient trait. Ancient, there we go. This is a niche. We can bring this guy back, but I don't really see what the point would be. Cute. That's a wasted turn. Could bring Sandy Shocks back. That would be funny. But again, it really wouldn't do anything. So I'm gonna keep this just because I think like it's just good to have for just draw cases. Yeah, so after the ad break, we're going to jump into some more gonna jump into some actual games. Alrighty. Alright, welcome back everybody. Alright, so I'm still working on Raging Bolt here. I forgot that I still had the fan rotoms in there and didn't realize that, so I was like, well, we done goofed. So, there is that. So, alright, let's give it a try. So part of the reason why I'm thinking, and why I'm kind of leaning more towards Raging Bolt right now, is the increased presence of meta, or the megas. But here's the thing about mega Pokemon that I've started to realize, is that at least for now, a lot of them are very like just they're the new kids on the block. So there really is, it's just like the new shiny new toy, and there's a lot of people trying to make them work, and that's not to say that like they're bad cards, because they're not. Unlike this hand, which is absolutely atrocious. Oh, that's terrible. Basic fighting energy or basic fighting Pokemon. Alright, so that's lovely. So there is that. But from what I've found, a lot of them just really like, they're just like really underwhelming. The only one that I've liked so far is Kangaskhan. There's a Kangaskhan deck that I'm going to put together here in a second that I want to try. So there's that. Alright, so they attach to Dreepy. They're in a weird spot. I feel like I can just go Gong. Okay, so I can't really leave that one. I'll put this here. We'll go here. Then I'm gonna do this and just mess with them. Yeah, we didn't get nothing off of that. Oh boy, love that. Love that. Appreciate the follow, my. So there is that. Guess what we'll do is we'll go Squawk. Losing the stretcher is gonna hurt, but it's like one of those deals with like where I really don't know what I'm gonna. Still don't have enough energy. Still haven't had any energy drawn. So I guess we just go Soul Rock, and we'll just go Burst Roar and see what happens. But, well, now we've got a Grass Energy, but it's still not, still hadn't hit a single Electric Energy off of that. And also appreciate the sub, Mai. Definitely appreciate that. Every little bit helps, trying to build this channel and make it something worth bragging about. So, opponent goes double Poffin, double Dusk. Alright, at least we'll see 6 new fresh cards here. They're still looking for a second Dreepy, which is going to be big. Alright, so now we got Fighting Energy, but we don't have Electric Energy. I did up the Fighting Energy from 3 to 4 to 4. So we do have some motion. There's our Latias. The Recon, and then honestly I'm just expecting them to Itchy Pollen at this point. So it's not looking good for us right now, but we'll see. Alright, so we'll be able to see 4 cards off of this. Okay. I really could have just put the Baby Bolt down. I could have done that. But I still have Stretcher and I still have Ultra Ball, so I still have a way to like get another Soul Rock if I need it. And this way I still save energy. So they're gonna need energy, and they're gonna need maybe even a counter catcher if they want to try to get something. Probably am expecting them to evolve one or both of the Duskulls, so there's that. So then the next question is, what are the other cards? I don't think they're gonna do that. Try not to burp into the mic. So there is that. Alright, so there's some settle for the Jet Headbutt. Now that's going to be important to watch based on what these 4 cards are here. Because one of those could be a rare candy, and we don't want that to happen. So we'll Teal Dance. Get rid of this guy. Yeah, I've got all the grass energy in the world going on. I'm bored right now. Oof. That ain't good. Get rid of that. Means I've got so go here, there, there, and then there. Again, like I said, the prospect and the idea, just the prospect of Megas gets better, like once cards like this, like Raging Bolt, aren't so overpowered. So now we're in a weird spot. We don't have I don't have a Sada. Makes me wonder if I actually put Pal Pad in this deck or not. We have 1 Sada left. Oh my god. This is going to be rough. So we're going to be really careful with where we put energy. However, if we can get a knockout on... If we can get a knockout on this Jacloak, I think we're good. If we can get a knockout on Jacloak and then close out with... whatchamacallit, Latias, we're good. Because we don't want to put ourselves to like 1 prize card. Because that's going to be just detrimental against this deck. Alright, so he's banking on us not having a knockout. There's a recon, so I'm banking on them having an Iono, or just some way to disrupt our hand. Alright, Jamming Tower. Alright, that's fine. Obviously I want to get rid of that. Obviously I want to get rid of that. I guess I can get rid of Latias too. Getting rid of Solrock takes off the cheap knockout, so now this makes the Dusclops just kind of useless. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach this, and then we're going to go double teal. That's good. We'll get rid of Mr. Cloak. And we're just going to get rid of the grass energies. Because then everything else that's in here is a Sada target, if we can find the last Sada, because I didn't prize check very well. Alright, so we got a Crispin. It's a little late for it, but it's not too bad. So there's the Ultra Ball. That's making a big wave there. That becomes yeah, that's what it becomes. Which, if that's the case, we're cruising. What we don't want to see is an Iono. We don't want to see an Iono. They don't have it. If they had it, they'd already play it. There we go. Nice. Very solid. Solid game. Alright. So, it wasn't perfect. I mean, we kind of sweating there for a bit. However, just kind of like in, you know, the previous format, like there's a lot of the top decks, they don't really play a lot of like they're very slow to set up. Yeah, but we definitely need a Powell pad. I guess we could try to go all gas, no brakes, and just take out the Judge. I mean, I think this is absolutely stupid, but I take out the Judge and see what happens. So there's that. Now we'll go the OG one. It's always funny though, like when I play people in like a local tournament or I play them at a League Cup and they see like the older prints of cards that I have. And they're just like, oh man, that's so cool. And I'm like, yeah. And then tell them how long I've been playing, and they're like, oh, you've been playing that long? I'm like, yeah. Been that long. And then it generates like one of two responses where it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. They're like, oh my god, what have you done with your life? So. Well, now with that second sub, I'm definitely like a fourth of the way there. Alright, so opponent's going first. They're probably playing Gholdengo, or they're probably playing whatchamacallit. Probably playing Gholdengo, or they're probably playing Terrabox. Oh, this thing. Alright, so people are... Alright, so this will be fun. This will be fun. If this is what I think it is, this is going to be great. Oh, yeah. Alright. So what's cool about this deck is they're going to play this guy, draw 2 cards, and then they're going to set up a Pineco, turn it into a fortress, blow up the fortress, let me take 2 prize cards, and then get into this weird situation where they play that new Acerola card that like makes it to where it's unaffected by anything. It can't be bothered by damage or anything. So the only way we get around it is if we shred through it, or we just bear blast this guy before he even has a chance to set up. So that is the nature of the beast we're dealing with right now. I'm just gonna see all the cards. this is all the cards. So we gotta end this guy quick. Muse prized. But the other part of it is too is we've got to be careful because this thing, for 3 colorless energy, 200 damage, flip until you get tails, and for each heads it does 50 more damage. So it can one-shot us if we're not careful. So that's what I was saying, we gotta put it down quick. Just gonna take 2 of these off. And then you got the Cypher Maniac Code Breaking. You take 2 cards out of your deck, put them on top, and then you, like, there. So see, here it goes, here it goes. This is going to be big. So now they're going to put me at a weird little position where so this is the problem of so we're going to get the 2 cards. Battle Olay. That's crazy. Alright, so we're going to do 200 damage to her. Yeah. That still gets us there. Alright, so now this is where the, basically, I guess you could call it the Mama Lock comes in. Where if they get the energy, and then they play the, so then this, alright, so they can play Acerola, they're going to try to get, oh, I wish I knew what that was, but run errands, draw 2 cards. They got a supporter. Counter catcher. Alright, there it is. So get this. This card says, choose one of your Pokemon to play. During this turn, prevent all damage done to effects or attacks from this Pokemon, your opponent's Pokemon EX. Okay. So, alright. This actually kind of made things different now. Alright, so Koraidon actually just got a lot better, if you ask me. Okay, therapeutic. Alright, let's see what happens here. 60. They're gonna knock it out either way. But as long as if we can avoid like them using the Acerola, like, we're pretty good. God. That is insane. So now it's just going to take 6 straight. But we don't play any like hand disruptions, so it's going to make it a little hard to do. I don't really want to... Again, I don't really want to like draw anything. Hey, we're halfway there. Like, we just need a turn where they just whiff the Acerola. And we're good. It's literally what this comes down to. Picnic basket. It's so nasty. Oh my god. They still have it. It's insane. Well, you know what? I'm glad that... Alright, so now, let's see, that should be 1, 2, 3. So they got one more. It's in there somewhere. 3 cards, put them back in any order, shuffle them, and put them at the bottom of your deck. Very good card. It's a fun thing about a new set, especially one like Mega Evolutions, is now like there's a lot more creativity. And I was talking to somebody about this the other day, is that the beauty of this set isn't necessarily in the Pokemon. Now granted, the full art Megas are absolutely like gorgeous. But it's like there's a lot of really cool like trainer cards that are just awesome. And you already used your ability, man. Oh man, here we go. Alright, let's hope he doesn't have a boss. Which he probably does if he used Deduction Kit. There it goes. They waited for the very end. Oh, and they emote. Oh, you were awful. You were awful. Come on. Don't do that. Come on. That is scummy. God. Like, just win graciously and just move on, dude. Crazy. Alright, so that becomes a no factor if we do this. Yep. But no, that is a very good deck. Which we are going to build right now. I saw Tim Danklin had posted the list somewhere. Yeah. I guess somebody else is paying attention as well. So basically the list is like this. It's no, really bad. Yeah, they're all really bad. I'm gonna do this one because I like this one. It looks cool. Yeah, they're all bad. Now I gotta sit here and think, like, do I still have these? I feel like I have them somewhere, but I'm gonna have to go dig in the bulk and see what's going on. Yeah, so it's basically just this is the whole deck. 4 Mega Kangaskhan and a 2-Toon Fortress line. Alright? And then 8 grass. Which we're gonna use black and white grass because black and white energies are one of the best. And then it gets crazy with this. Like, I don't know. And I really think, though, too, this is where that deck probably also gets a lot of... gets into a lot of trouble, too, is the fact that it's so Iono and Judge heavy. Yeah, this is definitely some mischief on your part. Yeah, just like, look at that. It's Force Arola, Force Cypher. Two Boss. You know, this deck probably would fold to like the one person out of like 2,000 people that plays. This would lose to a wall deck, but the majority of society doesn't play wall, so we're good. But then there's that part of me too that it's like if I went, like, if you knew you were going to somewhere that had a filthy controller like wall player, I would go over there and I would definitely play a Cornerstone or some kind of shredder. 2 power, that's insane. Bravery Charm, cheese, and that would be nasty on that thing. Protective Goggles. Invite Band. Like Vitality Band with that, it's actually pretty nasty. We're gonna do the original one. Because then it's just like, even regardless of the coin flip, like you just one-shot, Ogre Pawns. Super Potion. Academy at Night. Very good call there. Miracle Headset. Put up to 2 supporters and discard pile in your hand. Love that. I thought that Battle Olay was actually really good. Team Rocket's a Watchtower. Mom's angry. Yeah, I think that's a good thing to call it. You know, I've been liking the freebie, the Play Pokemon deck box. I've been liking that. Let's put the Evolution ETB sleeves on it. Use a Genesect coin. That'd be pretty cool. Now, this deck does go against my rule of playing flippy cards. RIP Lugia. So, I mean, it does go against it, but at the same time, too, my argument was with Lugia was I was good and I was winning games with it. So, how can I argue with that? I feel like a quick Guldango could get around this as well. A quick Guldango, and then maybe even Gardevoir would probably give it fits too. Yeah, Gardevoir would give this fits, I think. Until I know what they're playing, I don't want to play Rockets down. I'm good right now. Lunatone, Tatsugiri, Solrock. Don't tempt me with the possibility of blowing up both of my Pinecos, my guy. I will do it. I will do it. But also at the same time, too, they're probably sitting there thinking, like, you know, I might end up having to attack with Great Tusk. Which does Great Tusk get us? Yeah, Great Tusk gets us. Oh my gosh, we're going to have to watch out for that. Great Tusk does get us with the second attack. So that's going to be the thing to watch now, guys. Let's get rid of the picnic basket. Alright, we'll do that. Search your deck for 5 basic energy cards and attach them to basic profile. What do you like? That's pretty dope. Although I think probably what you're going to do, like if you are going to play this deck, what I would do is I would definitely have, whatchamacallit, I would definitely have some dice ready, because the dice are going to be faster to flip than coins, and with the way, like, the new rules and everything are for, like, the game, like, being able to... Oh, Legacy Energy. Oh, look at you. Look at you. I'm okay with that, man. Do that, just get rid of it. Jeez, it's 350 damage right there on a coin flip. Insane. Insane. Alright, so we're tied 4 apiece here. Now the real question is, do I sit here and go ahead and blow up the fortress? Which I really don't think that they do, because I can do this at any point. fighting gong makes this like really strong. Here's the Sada. Nothing. Now we just have to like Iona this guy down to like nothing. Should have just knocked that out. That was a mistake. You know what I think I should have done? What I should have done is I should have went and just blew up the fortress and then did the Acerola. Alright. So that's interesting. Alright, so there it is. There's that. You know, there's also a part of me too that would want to put like a penny or something in here. Alright, I'm fine with that. Now what's going to make it weird though is the luminous energy on it. Which then it's like, oh Jones, just play Enhanced Hammer, but it's like, how often are you going to see that? Like this is like somebody just playing this just to play it. Now, having that Bravery Charm actually be pretty good right now. Having the Bravery Charm would be very good. Watch this. We're gonna kill this one. So I'm gonna kill this one. Ugh. So I'm gonna kill this one. Alright. And then let's hope to God that we don't get sodded. He's probably gonna get sodded. Watch. Hey, now get the energy so we can get out of here. There it is. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy. Oh my god. My god, you probably don't win very often. Jesus. Oh man, that was rough. Guys, that was an anomaly. That was an anomaly. Again, I'm just hitting all the anomalies. That's what I'm doing. I'm just hitting all the anomalies tonight. Yeah, I think that too. I just overbenched. This will be fun. I do know how these people love to Iono us, so we're gonna go and do that. Yeah. Appreciate everybody coming out and watching the stream. A lot of things you'd be doing on Sunday evening. Chose to stick right here, and definitely am very grateful for that. Also really grateful for the 2 subs, the sub and for the follow. Just this whole journey so far as like streaming and stuff has just been very, very humbling. Very humbling. Beautiful. I forgot to draw. I could do that. I mean, they got 8 cards. Yeah, they got 9 cards now. I think, yeah, we go Iono next turn. Maybe we... No, I think we have to go boss. Check that down. Alright, so they beat us to it. Alright, cool, that's fine. Whatever. Wow. All of those Poke Gear. That's insane. So we got all of these we got all the opportunities in the world to try to grab a boss. Alright, let's grab another one. You know what? I can do this. Let's do this. Alright, so now we're tied. See, and this is the thing that I don't like about this, and this is more than likely where, like, the Vitality Band just comes in handy. Because if I just go Vitality Band and just, I'm able to hit that for knockout. But what we're going to have to watch out, though, is Jamming Tower. Alright, so that's great. That's great. Easy. Easy knockout. Easy prize. So, very happy with how that turned out. Yeah, so, in other news, got a League Cup win. That was really exciting. It was, there's 10 people, so it's very reminiscent to the old days of, like, playing in a tournament with hardly anybody. And it's really been something that's, like, that I've noticed around my local store, and I've noticed around other places too, that, like, tournament numbers are down. I don't know if, like, that's where you're facing or where you've seen it, but I know, like, where I'm at right now, like, tournament numbers are down, and they're just scattered all over the place. And I think maybe a lot of that just has to do with the Worlds format, but then the other part of it too is there were, like, 3 or 4 League Cups going on, like, at the same time across Central Florida. So yeah, so that's kind of like what happened. So it was 3 rounds of Swiss that cut to a top 2. More on that in a second. So round 1, I get paired up against a local good friend of mine. He's playing Poltzard. I'm on, let's see, I'll pull it up. Which it really shouldn't be no surprise when I'm playing at this point. Yeah, so I'm on Spicy Box 9. Alright, we've already went over this list on stream, so there's really no need to go over it. Oh wait, it wasn't 9, it was... we were on Spicy Box 8. Yeah, we were on Spicy Box 8. So again, no need to go over this. We already know what this list looks like. We've played it into oblivion. So played this. I pair into Poltzard round 1. I win the flip major. He flips over a Lone Dreepy. I flip over Fan Rotom, Research, and a bunch of other cards. So basically, he just lays down, he just attaches a Dreepy and passes, and then I'm on the run to try to just gather everything I can to just grab this one stadium card, because I had energy in hand, had a Research, I had all this other stuff that I could just, like, try to see as many cards in hand. Played my hand down as low as I could, Ultra Ball, grabbed a Mew, restart, whiffed it, did everything else that I could, got the Owls and all this other stuff out, and then I kissed the Research as I played it down, played the Research through the hand. I think, like, the Area 0 was, like, the 4th or 5th card off of the 7. So, like, it was definitely a good way to start, and it's quick. And that's something that I'd say for most of my games yesterday, is that they were all very quick. I wasn't playing a lot of long games. I did play one long game, and it was good, and it was a very good game. And, you know, I got nothing but good things to say about the opponent I played. I just think, like, more of, like, with that, it would have been more about just the way that the game went down. But anyways, we're going to go to an ad break here real quick, and I'm going to get a few sips of a drink and pull something up, and then we'll talk more. So there is that. Alright, so maybe I was in an ad break. I don't know. But yeah, so anyways, round 3 I play, and there's one guy there who's with was on Jellyvore, what we've been playing all week, trying to like practice with. So he was on Jellyvore, and I've known him, and he's he's a crossover player, plays a lot of different card games, and it's not, like I said, not the first time that like we've thrown down. I think our head-to-head record, I think I'm up, but I don't know. Yeah. Alright, so anyways, like I was saying, so we play each other, and so I win the flip, and I'm thinking like, okay, I need to go second. And I'm saying like second in my head, but first slips out, so I'm like, crud. Alright. So I'm just like, crud. And now I gotta figure this out. Not excited about it, and so I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. I'm just gonna play it out and see what happens. Maybe we can catch some breaks, and then maybe, luck will shine on us. And fortunately it did. Like, it actually kind of worked out. My opponent ended up just not drawing very well, and he had some very unfortunate pricing. So then I was able to capitalize on that. I also got a turn 2 Torrential Pump off, which is huge. Because the last time I played this guy, I wasn't able to do it. Like, he did a really good job of like keeping his monkeys in the active spot. And then also my Iron Bundle and my Sparkling Crystal were prized in our last game. So being able to have all of that there was really good. But I didn't need the bundle until the end of the game. I was able to play through that. Had to pin him into a corner where he had to attack with Jellicent, and he didn't have any monkeys, so it made it to where like Jellicent had like 80 damage on it. He Iona'd me. I was able to play out of the Iono and be able to get a knockout. So then he gets this board where he had Clefairy in the active spot. I'm trying to remember how this went out. It was like I took the knockout on his Jellicent. And then it was Clefairy, Guardy, and a charmed Pheasantipity. I didn't have access to my Clefairy. And I didn't have access to Bear. Because he had, if I can't remember correctly, I think he took a knockout. He took a knockout with a Gardevoir. So what was in the active spot was, well, I don't remember it, but anyway, basically what it came down to was I had this really smooth Gravity Mountain. I had this really smooth like Pikachu Energy Switch Gravity Mountain play. And again, that's why I should have just played this list to Pittsburgh, but was able to knock him out. Took that and then cut in the top two, got paired into the Poltzard player again, and then just took it there. So 50 points, that puts me just outside of the world's bracket right now. And right now I'm just trying to weigh my options and thinking about what my next moves are, because this is literally probably, this is the most confident I've felt as a player in a very long time. And people think oh man, Jones, you're such a good player, you should feel confident, feel like a confident player all the time anyways. And I'm like, no, sometimes there are days that I do, there are days that my confidence wanes. I never lose confidence in myself, I never lose confidence in my ability, but there are just some times where I sit there and I wonder if I'm as good as I think I am, or are my best days behind me? And sometimes I very well could think that is the case, just because of different things and where I'm at in life and just the insane work-life balance that I have to maintain. And that, and I'm not going to get into that because that's just not, this isn't the place for it. But there are days where I sit there and I think what am I doing? Why am I kidding myself? Why am I even trying to do this? And then I think of just the run that I've had since July, and you're thinking oh, Jones, well, you've only played in rare challenges, and no. It's yeah, you're right. I have only played in a handful of challenges, and I've only played in a handful of cups, but I can tell you for a fact that I think out of the 8 league challenges I've played in, I have 3 first place finishes and a third, and then I've only played in 3 league cups, and I have a top 4 finish and I have a first place finish. So, and then I got the 60 something points from Pittsburgh last weekend. I am playing, in my opinion, some of the best Pokemon I have ever played, and right now it definitely feels like if there was ever a chance that I could take a shot at Worlds, it would be this year. And I don't have all the kinks and everything worked out yet, but it really feels like this could be my year. So that's where I'm at with that. And I've got some decisions and things to make, and I've got some things I've got to try to figure out on my end, but I'll figure them out. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But if it does, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome to be able to get there and be able to share that with everybody. Be able to cap off on a long career of just always coming short. Because see, that's the thing. It's I know there are people that have played as long as I have, and have don't nearly have the amount of accolades that I do. The first thing I always tell people, and it's the same thing I was telling Packlack a couple weeks ago on this podcast, I am beyond blessed to be where I'm at and be able to do what I've been doing for a while now. But I also know people that have been playing just as long as I have, and they haven't been on the road as much. They haven't had the finishes like I have, What in God's name are we playing? Oh, Cerule Edge. Alright, cool. So, we're gonna have to play to a Devo turn. Got it. Love that for me. I love how people still... Jesus Christ, these energy. Holy cow. So the question is, guys, do we just kind of pack it in, or do we just keep going? Are you kidding me? We gotta be... No, I'm gonna have to play super hard. Isn't that just so cool to be able to do that? This supporter's so busted. Well, I don't like seeing 3 energy cards like that, but, you know. It is what it is. Alright, we're good. That's insane. Like, just the sheer fact, too, like, they got all of these energy in the discard pile, too, but now between, like, Fighting Gong and just that, like, the draw is insane. Like, this has generally got me second-guessing this deck. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. I think what we might just have to end up playing for is we might end up having to play into a board where I just have to devolve a bunch of stuff. I think that's probably what we're gonna have to do. Is just play to a game state where we just devolve a lot of things. Too bad. No, we're not emoting. Are you kidding me? $310 damage. Jeez, alright. think that's what I might have to do, is I might just have to like play to a turn where they like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to play to a turn where I just knock them out that way. 310. Crazy. Alright, so this is going to be pretty big if I can pull this off. Alright. So we're going to go we're going to not grass energy, dark energy. Attach here. Maybe I should put the Lunatic out. Nice. Good solid 2-turn knockout there. I gotta figure out how to knock this guy out. I think maybe Arven's the way? Yeah, I think we gotta go Arven. I think I gotta go Arven into... I gotta go Arven into something. Yeah, we definitely play Arven. Jeez. Oh, wow. Alright, they conceded. That was tough. Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. That was weird. We didn't use super rat early, did we? Yeah, we did. We did. We used it for the... We used it for the... Frostlass and the thing. It's crazy. Ouch. There we go. I'm just gonna go for a sure bet there. Grab that. Grab that. Check our prizes. This is why you prize check, boys and girls. Yep, this is definitely why you prize check. So then what we're going to do next is we'll go Grim, one to Lily. And we'll go from there. Powerful card. I feel definitely gotta love and appreciate the... Oh, we're playing Slowking! Okay, that's great. Yeah, we're playing Slowking. Yeah, we don't want to give him any more cards. Let's just Lilies, see what we got. Well, you know, this isn't the worst thing. Yeah, this is just insane. Only thing we didn't get is we didn't get... Didn't get the... Didn't get a Frostlass like we wanted. There's a Snow Run. No, but I could... Well, no. This deck doesn't really run a lot of... This deck doesn't really run a lot of that. So now probably what we do need to... What I do need to do is I need to get a Shaman out in case they play Kyurem. That's what I need to do. There's the Xatu. And watch this be like a Legacy Energy or something. Oh, they just scooped. Wow. Yeah, so there we go. Keep going with it. 1-2 straight with Grimmsnarl. So, going pretty good. I mean, granted, they probably just didn't... I wouldn't really count them like folding like that. A loss, but... Yeah. Alright, any day now, you're gonna flip the coin. It's another Cerule Edge. Oh wait, I'm playing the same guy. He just played a different deck. Okay. That's cool. He's like, hold on, I'm gonna change decks so I can beat you. That's cute. They're just getting everything. Well, it's not as truly as devastating. But they got everything they wanted and then some. They just did get a charge cat. Not what I wanted to see. Not what I wanted to see. Just gonna put the one snow run down. I mean, yeah, sure, they'll still hit 70 on Monkey Dory, but I can still bounce most of that there. See, that's why we don't do that. I don't think there's a situation where I need anything on the bench spot right now. Alright, so that'll be interesting now. Let's see how this plays out. I imagine that's probably going to end up being like a... That'll end up being the armor Cerule Edge. I mean, they probably got a bunch of energy in the discard pile. Yeah. 50, 70, 90, 110. Jeez, they're just getting everything they want and more today. In which, that's okay though, because that actually kind of works out for us. It actually works out for us. We're not going to Iona them because we don't want them to see 4 fresh new cards. Let's see what this Impidimp does. I'm going to have to get in a situation where I do... God is good. So we go... Now this is definitely a situation where, like... 20 or 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 210. Oh my god, that's too... Oh god, that's so much. And the other monkeys are prized too. I think I'm pretty much cooked at this point. That's ridiculous. That is incredibly ridiculous. Incredibly ridiculous. Yeah, hey, yeah, Biff, League Cup followed. Yeah, we had talked about it earlier, and yeah, it was pretty interesting the way it worked out. There were only 10 of us, and it ended up cutting us out to a top 2, and I ended up was able to play in the single top cut game and ended up winning. And then there was a guy that was local, or not a local, but he had traveled, and I guess he had always known them to have like a top 4, or at least like a top 8. And with the numbers, it ended up getting to this point where he was very unhappy about it. He was very upset about it. He's like, they should always have top cut. And I was like, yeah, well, it had top cut, but we didn't have enough people. It was just enough for a top 2, which, if it had been a league challenge, it would have been 4 rounds, and then that would have been it. But cups, obviously, are different, so there is that. So, yeah, I do apologize. I didn't have chat up when I saw it, so I apologize for that. Yeah, so we just lost a really tough one there. That was unfortunate. Really not a whole lot I could do. Like, I mean, I ended up getting pretty much everything I wanted there, but yeah, that was tough. So, let's see what happens in this game. But again, just if you dropped in for the first time or anything like that, just mostly been playing around with a lot of stuff that is like, that like plays Lily or benefits the most off the new Lily card. So that's kind of like where we're at with that. Alright, so this is a promising start. Very promising start indeed. Now if I could just get an energy, that would be great. That'd be really great if I could get an energy. Okay. Now, is it going to be one of these things where, like, now I'm going to just play against everything that, like, beats me? Like, I get thrown into that nonsense? I feel like that's probably what's about to happen to me. Need energy and an Evo, and I get neither. That's okay, though. That's okay, though. Where's this going? I'm just gonna put it there. I'm gonna hold on to this, because I don't think... So we ended up getting the energy, but we missed the TM Evo. It's like, in a way, like, I almost want to just, like, put an energy search back in here just for that. Because then that Arven would have ended up being, like, way more functional. Because I could just grab the energy search and then get the TM Evo, and then I could have evolved off the Pokken. Oh well, it is what it is. Either way, we're playing a very hard matchup here. Probably looking for a TM Devo turn, and they just scoop. Okay, I'll take that. I don't think I know a lot of, I don't know a lot of people that would object to that, but almost into Tyranitar. Let me see, where is some room that I could put that in? Maybe an Iono, maybe? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop an Iono to 3. Drop an Iono to 3. Then I'll go energy search. Is this a foil one? Yeah. Foil, black and white, energy search. Solid. So I'll do that. So we got a favorable coin flip. We'll do that. Ugh. Right, so we got pretty decent little start there. I'll flip over to see what they got. Latios, it's Dragapult, Terrabox, Joltik, or Raging Bolt. Terrabox, alright. I finally get to see what it's like on the other side for once. Okay. So they're fine there. That's gonna hurt. I don't know what else is in their hand, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I know this is going to be a Wellspring. I guess he doesn't have. So that tells me automatically, like, if they don't have Crystal, if they're searching that out in attachment. They don't have Crystal. I probably should play that out. So, see what happens here. We know they got the one Noctowl in hand. I think it's kind of hard to say, like, trying just to read it. They either try to check down. This is assuming too, like, they have like an Energy and Crystal. Because if we got like Energy and Crystal in hand, then you just check down and get either Shaman or you get Frostlass. But I could very well see them killing this active monk and then doing that. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. So we gotta get rid of this guy. See if they keep the energy on it. Alright, so that's pretty bold. Alright, Grim. That's rough. And we miss Ultra Ball, we miss Supporter. That's tough. So I'm just gonna take the I'm gonna take that on the chin. And yeah, it's unfortunate there. Very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But it is what it is. Victim of live hands. You know, this is something to think about now. Is like, this is something to think about now. Is now like, what does Gardevoir look like now? I'm still gonna keep 2 of them. I'm gonna split them. Because this is weird. Okay? Like, this is weird. I don't really think maybe much changes with this. Maybe except that maybe I do this. Maybe I go 3. And I go 3. And then we throw 2 Lily in here. And just kind of see where that fits in with it. Yeah. Maybe that's what that looks like. Who knows? We'll play a couple games, see what happens with it. Do I want to go first? No, I don't want to go first. It's a pretty good little opening hand. So we're playing against Lucario. Kind of an auto win unless we just kind of straight up just punt this. So we'll see what happens. Obviously gonna grab Ralts here. Check all of it. We're good. That's right, I don't play Nest anymore. Yes, I did grab the Lily there, but I'm not going to evolve. And the reason why I'm not going to evolve is because I don't want to go and grab both my Kirlias off of that and then hate myself for it. But I'm splitting the Kirlias because just a niche situation where I need to use Psychic. So, like, both of them are good. Like, don't get that wrong. Good for them. Good for them. Vita. That's dope. Doesn't really matter at this point, just because that's pretty awesome. I wonder how many codes they opened up for that. Like, I realistically only need to, like, kill 2 Lucario, like, and I'm good. I'm missing that. Now they very well can use a power-up drink thing, and then I can... Max belt. Alright, that's cute. So yeah, so I should use my something. It's 120, 140, 160, 180. Alright, we'll still get the knockout. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Close. This is gonna be a pretty good game. All we gotta do is find a way to get Gardevoir back and we win. Probably shouldn't have got another waltz just in case. That was actually about to be really bad. Like, if I missed an Ultra Ball or something off of that, or even just didn't draw into it, like, I probably could have lost. $120, $140, $160, $180. Yeah, we get it, just barely. I had this conversation with somebody last night, like, Clefairy's really good into this, obviously. But, like, again, like, Clefairy is so bench dependent that, like, it's hard to just be like, oh man, I got it. Alright, I guess let's play another game. That's cool. No. I love how, like, I get off a Terra box one night and like everybody's playing it. Which is kind of interesting though, because like I saw there's like a bunch of people playing it this weekend in Florida and was actually winning with it. Like I won one. I think Charlie Kerr, he won a cup with it. And maybe there was a couple of other people, but it's really exciting definitely to see everybody coming around to it and realizing exactly how good the deck is. Alright, this is the Pidgey version. This is crazy. Now this is maybe the case of like where I'm like, alright. Of like where, alright, 4 Iona would be good. Oh my god. Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, there's nothing else gonna be able to do that. Especially with how hot of a start they had. Come on. That was gross. Absolutely gross. Oh, I'm so close to it. Crazy. was a long Duolingo lesson. Alright, it's playing its sense. If anything, I just item lock him. See what happens there. That's wild. I do this just so I don't have to like give him another Pokemon. Wow, it did not. It did that thing again where it doesn't let me evolve both of them. Crazy. Alright, so let's see what happens. Mimikyu, Buddy Buddy, Murkrow, what do you do? Yeah, they can't attack. Gross. Yeah, I should have just put the Artisan down. Like, I don't know why I didn't do that. I should just put that down. They have no problem getting anything that they need. It's very unfortunate. The game glitched out on me even though I'm sitting there clicking it. So that'll go there. This will go here. And we're gonna try to slow him down. So that counter catcher. Interesting. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a double knockout here. Alright. Wait, why can't I use Adrenaline? What is it? What? You guys are seeing that too, right? Like, it's not letting me use Adrenaline. What? Complete, okay. Alright, it's totally just crashed at this point. That's ridiculous. So what I would do if PTCGO would fix their client is we would take the 60 damage off of this and we'd knock that out, and then I would proceed to then take the knockout here and take 2 prizes. I've got dark energy attached to me. Oh, that's annoying. But I bet it'll, you know what I bet it'll do? I'm totally sure it'll be fine with me scooping. That's for sure. and it just absolutely crashed. That's annoying. Let's see what it does here. It won't even let me concede. Like it's that. Oh, yeah, sure. That's the one thing that live is always good at. Is always good at making sure you can concede. Yeah. So now that any chance of me like doing that is ridiculous. All right. Well, unfortunately, I guess that's where I'm gonna leave it for tonight. Anyways, thanks to everybody that came in the night, left a chat, followed, or just even watch for a little bit. I know there's a lot you can spend your Sunday night doing, and I appreciate you spending it with me. So I'll see you on Tuesday, 9:30 as always, and on Wednesdays as well.